Alright, more machete porn, but that's not what this video's about. I got my final two machetes in. This is the Marbles. This is a cold steel. It's made in South Africa, and this is made in El Salvador. So these are the three that I'll be trying out tomorrow. Tonight I got to put an edge on this one and this one. This has got a real nice edge. This Marbles came with a fairly decent edge. This came with a fairly decent edge, and the cold steel, I mean, it's it's not even an edge really. It's there's a good 16th uh, of blade that I got to come down with on either side. So anyway, let me give you an update on the bank. Here, let me give you something pretty to look at. While I was at the dealership buying what you're fixing to look at here in the next clip, I got three phone calls in the course of about 45 minutes from the bank manager of the bank that stole $100 from me, and that's what I'm going to call it. First time he called me was to ask me exactly what time it was when this transpired, and I told him. And the only reason I knew exactly what time it was because as I was trying to leave the bank, I thought to myself, "My God, the traffic is heavy." And I looked at my clock, and it was lunchtime, 12:17. So that explains everybody, hustling to and fro, trying to get their sandwiches and get back to work. So he calls me back a little later and asks me to explain what it was that happened, and I went through the whole thing. Got the money, stuck it in my pocket, went to Pizza Hut, came back. Uh, my wife and I ate a couple pieces of pizza. I came into my man cave, opened my safe to put the money in, opened the envelope, counted the money, and there was only 300 in there and not 400. And that's part of my down payment on what's coming up. The next clip you'll see. I was trying to put as big a down payment on it as possible to keep my payment low, and it is low. It's less than $100. Anyway, so the conversation every time he called, it got a little less polite and a little less polite, and ultimately it was. He said, "Well, sir, I can't find any wrongdoing here. I've been able to watch the video, and although when he's at the window, I can't see his hands, I can see him counting the money out." And I said, "Yes, he did count the money out, and then his hands disappeared below the edge of the counter, and when they appeared again, the envelope had the money in it, and it was sealed." And he said, "Well, I don't know what to tell you." And I said, "Okay, so let me run this by you. There's only two other possible scenarios. One is that I'm lying." And he goes, "Yes." I said, "And the other is that somehow, without me knowing it, $100 unsealed the envelope, got out, sealed the envelope back up between the drive-through window and getting to my house. That's what you're trying to tell me." Anyway, he said, "Look, I can give you $100." I said, "You know what? You just keep the $100. I can live without it. Have a nice day." And I'm gonna move on, and I'm not gonna do anything to the guy, even though I yesterday I probably would have, but I promised my wife I wouldn't, and I won't. But anyway, just talking about it's making me mad all over. I've never had anybody just blatantly rob me like that. Okay, let's look at another. Okay, machete porn. So anyway, I bought this ZTR, and that's what the next three clips are. It's taken me forever to mow the grass that I have now, and I've been wanting a ZTR for years and years and years, and I have been saving and saving and saving. I was hoping I would run across to use one, and I'd have enough money in my savings to buy it. And I haven't run across a used one with low enough hours. The used ones have, the amount of hours that I would consider getting rid of it at, 1,100, 1,200, 1,300 hours. And you might get 200 or 300 more hours of use out of it. So I went ahead and called the people that sell new Exmarks, and they had a promotion going on certain models that they're discontinuing. They had $1,000 off, as well as some other incentives, a few add-ons and extras. So I went over there with all the cash I had, minus the $100 that was robbed from me, and I got a small loan on one. I got a heck of a deal, I think. Uh, anyway, the next 3 clips will explain. Thanks for watching, y'all. Well, I'm headed to my friend Dwayne's to borrow his trailer. I'm buying a ZTR, an Exmark, and it's going to be too big to fit on my little trailer. The other day I mowed all my property, including the new land, and it took me 6 full hours. And this ZTR should cut it in probably half, maybe more. We'll see. But I've been wanting a ZTR for so long, and I've been saving and saving and saving and saving for a couple of years now. Every penny I could sock away. And I'm fixing to go get one. It's not the Laser, it's the Pioneer. And all they have is a 60-inch deck. I wanted a 52-inch deck so I could get it on my trailer, but they don't have one. And they're phasing out the 2015 models, or 16, I can't remember which. So right now there's a $1,000 off promotional thing, and I don't want to lose that $1,000, so I may just go ahead and go with a 60-inch deck. I'm gonna get over there. I'm almost positive that's the one I'm gonna get. But anyway, Dwayne doesn't want to show a whole bunch of his place. So anyway, let me hook up to his trailer and I'll show you what I'm getting. All right, I got it tied down. Let's see if we can get it home in one piece. There it is. 25 horse Kawasaki hydro gear transmissions, and they have oil filters. They're serviceable. It's a 48-inch deck, which I have a 54, and I can barely get that 54 on my trailer. I was gonna go with a 60, but when I measured my doors on where I keep my lawnmower back there, I couldn't have got that through there. I couldn't have got it on my trailer. And they have a 52, but the price difference, I mean, there was actually no price difference between it and the 60-inch, and between it and this was a couple of $1,000 difference. So heck, I went with a 48. I have wanted a ZTR, God, for 20 years, because it just makes mowing so much easier. Anyway, I'm fixing to go mow. No, it doesn't really need mowing, but I'm going to mow anyway. Wow, that's not work, that's fun. I never thought I'd be happy when the grass grows again. I just mowed the 2 acres out there, and I don't know, it took me about an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 15 minutes. There is a learning curve to this if you haven't driven one. Until you get the hang of those sticks, it's best to go a little bit slower. But I got it now.